Minister, you're welcome to the House. And at the outset, I want to acknowledge you're only in office, and unfortunately, part of the role is taking on issues like this. When I started teaching, I had a really wonderful principal, a man by the name of Jack Griffin. And Jack's instruction to every teacher when he hired them was, place the student at the centre of everything you do, and you'll never have a problem with me. A caring state would place the child at the centre of everything we do, and we would drive forward to deliver the best possible for every single child, regardless of their class, their creed, regardless of their needs with respect to special education, with respect to special needs. The first question I have to ask you, Minister, is why would any parent have to go to court to get what was rightfully their child's care? Why would we do that? And how many parents who needed those things simply didn't have the wherewithal to go to court? And of course, when you take on the state, you take on the might and the deep pockets of every department in the country. The Primetime Investigates programme, when I watched it last Thursday night, makes your blood boil. But you have to step back from it and you have to think logically about what was going on. And clearly, citizens of the state were suing the state. And it was a multi-departmental law case. So in such a situation, I would expect fully that departments would share information in order to fight the case. I've already stated they shouldn't have had a case at all in the first case, but if we're going to the court, the defendant has the right to defend himself or herself, and in the case of the state has the right. But you know something? I wonder, when we look at the countless number of things that have come up over recent years, from cervical cancer right the whole way through, it seems to me that the first thing the state does when a case comes in is they pull down the hatches, get together and see how we can fight this. Now, the creation of the dossier, to my mind, is perfectly reasonable. However, we need to go beyond the dossier and we need to say, what else was involved? And we were told on prime time, and it's not for me to question it at this point in time, but we were told that doctors, consultants, psychiatrists shared private information of their patients with a public body. That's not a case for anybody here to deal with. That is a case for the professional organisation who manages these people. They have codes of ethics, they have codes of practice, and it is my view that the professional organisations need to step up to the plate now and need to investigate this. And if some consultant, some doctor, some psychiatrist, some career guidance person, some special needs teacher did something wrong, then there needs to be a sanction for that. I do not blame the state for doing what the state does to protect its assets. But I think we need to go further, Minister, because the prime time merely scratched the surface of what is the denial of constitutional rights to children with special needs. And that denial goes right through their lives. I spoke to a teacher recently who informed me that a 15-year-old child was exiting the school system and had absolutely no social skills, and for all intents and purposes was illiterate both mathematically and in text, right? So, Minister, I'm asking you now to go beyond where we are today. And I wrote to the Taoiseach and the Minister for Education over the weekend. I understand that what we need right now is we need an audit of everything to do with those children that have been allocated resources by the state. And I'm talking here specifically about special needs kids in schools. Are they getting every hour that was allocated to them on a one-to-one basis? Or has there been a misuse of hours? For it has been reported to me that there is a fraudulent misuse of hours going on in education, both at the special needs assistant level and at the teacher level. So I am saying today on the floor of this House, Minister, that we need to step into the Department of Education and we need to pursue every single special needs child allocation that has been granted over the last 30 years, if necessary. And we need to see, did those children receive the hours they were entitled to? Were they one-to-one? It has been reported to me that in some cases, in some schools, where you might have, say, let's say we have 6 children assigned 3 hours each, one-to-one education. And somebody says, let's amalgamate the 6 kids, put them into a room for 3 hours. Now they've got their 3 hours special needs education, and I have 15 hours to play with. If that's going on, Minister, we need to find out. And we need to find out now, right now. Because if we have denied children their special needs resources, we need to step up to the plate as a state. That's go here. Look, I could say an awful lot more, but I do appreciate time. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate your cooperation.